Evening, all of you. So, welcome to the YouTube channel of Get.Set.Law by MS. So, a bit of tech check was going on. So, finally, a lot many students have appeared for Maharashtra City 3-year LLB in slot 1 and slot 2. So, just a brief, it happened in two slots. Tomorrow also it will going to take place in two slots. So, today from 11 to 1 and from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. it happened. So, I'm going to give section wise briefing and then we'll have a question from all the students who can share that in the live chat and we'll answer it. It will not be more than 30 minutes session, so we'll wrap it up in that way only. So if we talk about the overall paper feel, so today there was we have already given some generic analysis of slot 1 and slot 2. So in this particular session we'll take it in a more deeper way, what were the actual questions which came. So that the students who will going to appear it tomorrow, they know about it, what were the type of questions come. Okay, so if you understand these, you will know exactly what to expect. Okay, so type of questions in slot 1, slot 2 for Maharashtra CD 3LP. So in legal reasoning, most important thing to know was that not much of principal fact based questions were there. So that is an important catch which I would want all the students should know about it. Then the overall paper pattern was moderate, but there was a pattern shift as compared to the previous year Maharashtra CT papers, which we have already said. So a student who was more inclined toward the legal awareness and have some basic conceptual clarity was able to take this up in slot 1 and slot 2. So comparatively, the paper was neck to neck. So there were constitution based question, right to constitutional remedies, article 32 ka direct approach to Supreme Court. The constitution heart and soul was initiated by whom? B.R. Ambedkar. There were questions on writs, that is habeas corpus, mandamus, certiorari, prohibition, quo warranto. So they were direct questions, so not much of thinking was needed in contrast with this. Okay. Next, we have some the case laws based. This was something, a new trend which happened, right to internet, which came in. So this was explicitly in the material which the IMS Get.Set.Law have provided. So I can bet on that. We have taught these things to students, and students also came to us the same thing which I mentioned it in the slot 2 analysis. Okay. So Anuradha Basin versus Union of India, which was linking to Article 19. And so it is more about how much students are aware. It's not just what you read about from the Bail Act. Okay. Also, the ones who are live right now, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you are new to our channel, do hit the subscribe button and hit the like button if you like the session. Okay. So reservation case laws related with Indra Swane versus Union of India. Then there were questions for Janhit Abhiyan versus Union of India. So for Indra Swane, OBC plus 50% cap. Sorry. Janhit Abhiyan was 10%, EWS valid, and M. Nagraj versus Union of India question were there. So direct matching type of concept clarity questions were there. Okay. So that is what was there, and some conceptual clarity for vicarious liability, voidable contracts. These were very basic ones. Some on professional ethics like advocate-client relationship based, the fiduciary relationship, that is what the vicarious liability we talk about. And the question on evidence law, a very important one. So there was a confession to police, whether admissible or not, based on certain section like section 25, section 26, and an exception of section 27. This is in regards to evidence law. Okay. So now evidence have been some preference in the Maharashtra CT exam. One was there with freedom of press related question, comes under article 19(1)(a), that is article of freedom of speech and expression. A landmark case of Romesh Thapar versus State of Madras, it was there. So legal was not very tough, but a doable one. The only thing was principal fact less say. So if anyone would have only focused on principal fact, we've already made it in the analysis part also. When the sample papers were out, uska ek analysis session tha. We said that it's a mixed match, but there was no paragraphical based question which was there. Now coming to the GK, the most diverse one. So again, the level was moderate as compared to legal, maybe moderate, we'll keep it. But it was more towards memory based, and the coverage the student must have based on. Okay. So there was a question on Pune Pact, the oldest high court, That's the Calcutta High Court, then Bombay High Court, Indian High Court Act. So on which act it was established, this was there. Okay. Uh, yeah. So Raj Nandini will surely come up for 5-year LLB also. So today is 3-year LLB CT. So they have more incline and more favorism today. But don't worry, we have already planned multiple sessions. So stay tuned to our YouTube channel, okay, and do subscribe to our channel, okay. So for related with static and mixed GK, the Pune pack were there. Then economy reports where World Economic Forum, that is the domestic product, gross state domestic product, state GDP, and so on. These were the type of questions were there. Geography based questions were also there. Sahyadri, Western Ghats, Amazon, India largest discharge, mountain Kilimanjaro, ice due to altitude. So this was also there. Now, a question related in polity and related with few rights were there. Right to education, a fundamental right. Right to vote, not a fundamental right. Right to work is a directive principle of state policy. So this is coming under the static portion, but legal GK, but again coming under GK section. Next, they talk about certain cultural and history based questions were also there. So this is also an area where the students for tomorrow should focus on. So Kutubuddin Aibak, that is Luck Baksh, then bought by Mohammad Gori, Vinayak Damodar Savakar, Indian House. So I've noted down all the questions separately in my material so that it will going to be uh, helpful for the students. Then some miscellaneous questions like Niti Aayog questions were there. Then so we will not say that, and even the question of meso farming was also there. That is linked with Jhum cultivation. Okay. So major takeaway for GK that it was not difficult or tough. It was somewhere moderate because a depth knowledge was needed. Okay. Yeah, Rajnandini, 3-year LLB would be quite similar to 5-year. No, you have maths. There is a bifurcation of the question, so there will be some differentiation. Okay. Now coming to the third section, that is logical reasoning. The level in slot 1 was moderate and slot 2 was slightly tough because a few questions have trapped students. I've already taken up it in the analysis part also that two of the questions or maybe three of the questions you can drop into the comments and tell whether it was two or three. But what have been received from students that the questions were doable, but it got stuck because of the situations which was given, and the options were also not direct. Like all the answers were coming in a reason called false, and the option related with false was not there. So that is what a problematic situation and have made this particular section a bit tough. But topics like silogs, clocks and calendars, then coding, decoding, seating arrangements, all these questions were already being there. Okay. So logical where student have lost time in slot 2 but not in slot 1. Okay. Now coming to the last section, that is English, which was comparatively easy of all, the most scoring one. But again, a lot many times in slot 2, the students have got trapped in one of the paragraph, which was again related with biology linking with technology. So vocab based question, grammar based question, error spotting based questions were there, and so it was a scoring section. Okay. So slot 1 overall, if you'll see, more comfortable as compared to slot 2, but there will be definitely a marginalization which is going to happen. So don't worry about it. The paper will going to be considered this way. Now, if you talk about that, sir, what would be the cutoff and everything? So it's too early to say because only 50% of the paper is done. So maybe we'll be in a better position after listening it from the students tomorrow. But again, the attempts should have been complete, all 120 questions. A good fluke, thoda bahut tukka, if you would have done, that would have been great. And so if you'll see Maharashtra CT as a paper, it's more inclined towards now awareness based. It is more towards some smart preparation about the students. So this is what have to be taken from this session. Okay. Now I'm going to take up the chat from all of you. If you have any doubt, any question, that is the reason we came up onto this session today. So just tell me that what do you guys, do you have any question, anything to ask? So you can ask me right now. Okay. Chalo. You can put up your question in the chat box. For the ones who are live, just keep it in mind. Drop into the comments and please also subscribe to our channel. Okay. So Rajendra, I've already answered your query. Anyone else? If you have any question, just let us know. For tomorrow paper, a few suggestions. Whatever has been there in the type of questions, you just don't just go and checking about it. But the major takeaways, don't completely rely on the sample paper because it is not very much resonating. That is one takeaway for the students. That is one thing. Second, be on time to the center and don't delay yourself to the center. That is again an important point. Just read all the instructions of the admit card. Take your original ID card with yourself, and that's it. Don't just try to copy all the questions. There could be a different type set of questions which can come, but definitely be ready for your balancing of the sections. So students who said that, sir, we got stuck in analytical reasoning, the logical reasoning section in few of the questions, don't get stuck. If this is the best thing which you have to see it, if you are not able to do it, review it, mark the answer and move to the other question. That's the best thing. For legal also do that way. You mark an option, but you go and put in review over there. Okay. So that is it, guys, for today's session. If anyone who has joined right now, if you have any question, drop us in the live chat, and if not, then you can drop into the comments later on when you will watch this video at the end or maybe tonight, and I'll be happy to answer all your queries. Wish you all the best for tomorrow, guys, for both the slots, and farewell. Bye bye, take care, good night. Thank you so much.